This week, the Western Azerbaijan community did not remain indifferent to the international pressure against our country and made a number of statements. The most important topic that marked the week regarding the community was an interview given by President Ilham Aliyev to Dmitry Kiselyov, Director General of the international news agency Rossiya Segodnya. The president emphasized the right of 300,000 Azerbaijanis deported from Armenia to return to their lands, and stated that they had not received a concrete answer from the Armenian leadership on this issue. The statements of the French ambassador to Azerbaijan have become one of the main topics on this week's diplomatic agenda. The Western Azerbaijani community called these statements racist and xenophobic. Such statements by the ambassador have once again proven that French diplomacy is in crisis. Another statement of the community included the recommendations of the UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination on Armenia's periodic report. The community appreciated the UN experts' strong condemnation of Armenia's deportation of Azerbaijanis and destruction of Azerbaijani cultural heritage. The statement noted that the reaction of Armenian representatives to these questions shows that Azerbaijanophobia and the ideas of so-called ethnic exceptionalism are still widespread in the country. The Western Azerbaijan community, in accordance with the UN recommendations, demands that Armenia take serious steps to stop this racist policy. The statements of the US Embassy in Azerbaijan were harshly criticized by the Western Azerbaijan community. The community called this position ethnic discrimination and an evil campaign. The community stated that the claims about human rights and freedom of speech actually serve political interests. European Parliament resolution. The European Parliament adopted another unfair resolution against Azerbaijan this week. The Western Azerbaijan community assessed this decision as far from objectivity and unfair. This institution, which sympathized with war criminals in the past, has now demonstrated its biased position. The folklore of Western Azerbaijan, being an integral part of Azerbaijani culture, stands out with its unique historical and cultural heritage. Although the values created by our compatriots who lived in this region throughout history have been destroyed, their traces continue to live on in both oral and written sources. The epigraphic monuments, examples of ancient writings, legends and tales found in the region are part of this heritage. For instance, the inscriptions discovered on a stone near Lake Goycha and the writings in the runic alphabet on Qarqadash mountain in the village of Nuvadi highlight the ancient traces of Western Azerbaijan's culture. Given that the area historically belonged to the vast territory inhabited by the Kipchak origin Gargars, it is highly likely that these inscriptions are associated with this people. As for the dating of the writing, it should be attributed to a period before the 5th century, as the ancient Albanian alphabet began to be used in the region from that century onward. Additionally, the notes of European travelers and historians contain rich folklore examples related to Western Azerbaijan. For instance, in the legends of the 11th century Georgian historian Leontim Reveli, the area around Mount Argri is described as the ancestral homeland of the Turks. The region is rich in tales, epics, poetry, and myths, showcasing examples of ancient culture. The historical roots, spreading from Agbaba to Goycha, are also reflected in its architectural and craftsmanship examples. Today, the folklore of Western Azerbaijan, as an inseparable part of Azerbaijani and Turkic culture, must be studied with special attention and passed on to future generations.